What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Paddock, and today we are going to talk about ad-libbing on All the Things You Are. All the Things You Are is one of the absolute most popular jazz standards, especially if you are playing at jam sessions. So today we're going to break down this melody and talk about how to make it more musical. When you play a jazz standard out of the real book or some other kind of jazz fake book, they just have a basic outline of the melody. That is not the way that you're supposed to play it. It just gives you the blueprint of how to get from point A to point B. The idea is to ad-lib and make that melody your own. So today we're going to talk about how to do that with the song All the Things You Are. When it comes to ad-libbing, I have 4 simple rules. The first rule is change the articulation and dynamics. The second rule is change the rhythm. The third rule is repeat notes. And the fourth rule is add notes. If you follow those 4 rules, you can take any melody from simple to very complex. Okay, so here are some insights on ad-libbing on All the Things You Are. Let's start off with this first phrase. So what I'm doing there is I'm playing that F, which is your first note, and then I do a turn. A turn meaning F, G, F, E, F. So I play that F, I do a turn, and then I jump onto the B flat. Now, to give it some more motion, instead of just playing the B flat and holding it, I repeat it. Then I take that next F, land on the E after that, and I do a little rhythm on that E. Instead of just playing, I play E, C, D. And then land on the A. Which kind of sounds like the Miles Davis tune 4 a little bit if you think about it. Now, the first 4 bars would sound like this. Now, when I go into that A, I usually will start on the E, and I will do a chromatic run in between the two. A really great way to add motion to a larger interval is to do a chromatic run in between it. Here it is from the top. So then I rip back down and repeat the D. Now, that is, since we're ad-libbing, we don't have to do it the same way every time. Another thing I could do is instead of doing a turn on that first note, I could just repeat the first note. So instead of adding all the turns and the rips and the chromaticism and all that kind of stuff, I'm playing a way more simple version of it where I'm just repeating notes and changing the rhythm a little bit. All right, so let's go to the second line, which starts on the D. Again, with that D, I would just repeat the notes in a cooler rhythm. Now we have bars 7 and 8, which is a C sharp, and you have A major 7 for 2 bars. That is a great place to add some notes. So you just use notes in your A major scale. You could approach it from the C sharp, or you could jump into it from the D right before the C sharp. So it would sound like this. Now you just have to land on C, which is the next note in the next line in the next measure. So when you are going in that A minor 7, it starts with the C. You have to land on the C. But you can do 2 measures of anything you want in A major. So again, the bars 4 through 8 would sound like this. Anything, as long as you land on a C, you're good to go. You can encapsulate that C, meaning coming from C sharp above, a B below, and a C, land on the C. Now, Now, the next 8 bars are very similar to the first 8 bars. This song is not A, like a lot of jazz standards. This song is A, B, C, D. But your A and your B kind of sound very similar to each other, so they have the same kind of vibe. So you want to make sure that you are, when you're playing it, that you're referencing what you did in the first A section. So here is how I would play the B section or the second 8 bars. So I'm going A, B, A, F. And I'm just repeating the B and coming up with a cool rhythm. Or you could do, which again is that reference to 4, the song 4. Then we're going to take that B and land on the A. Now that G sharp is really important, so we don't really want to do much there because we have notes at the end of that 8-bar phrase which lead into your bridge, into the next section, the C section. So we don't want to mess up those leading tones, those pickup notes going into the bridge by adding a bunch of stuff to the G sharp. So let's listen to those 8 bars again, starting on the C. Now, we have those pickups into the bridge. Large intervals, B, E, B. We can make them sound better just by changing the rhythm up a little bit and repeating notes. Or just changing the rhythm. Now, the bridge has that same thing repeating throughout it. It has those like intervals. So you can hear all those leading tones in there. So we really want to bring them out. So here is the bridge. There I'm going G sharp, G natural, F sharp. Whenever you have a whole step with 2 long notes, it always makes a lot of sense to put that passing tone through there, so chromaticism. Again, from the bridge. Grace notes are your friend. Listen to that grace note on the B. I do a 1-and-1 grace note, which that's the only time I use 1-and-1 B flat. It just sounds better than coming from the side, so I do kind of a little bit of a scoop with the 1-and-1 B flat into the B. Now, we land on this F, and we're going back to the A section, which is really not the A section again, but it's the similar to the A section. So this would be the D section, but it has that same feel. We're headed back there. So we have that F for 2 bars, and then we have that A augmented 7th. So we can play some kind of rhythm on that. Now, we're going to play the same section that we've already played. These 4 bars are the exact same as the beginning 4 bars, so let's change it up a little bit. So we're just repeating that note. We're repeating that F. You could also go. Or, it really doesn't matter what rhythm you do as long as it has some motion and it's moving forward. Again, just changing the rhythm to make it move forward and using a chromatic run in between the E and the A to give you just some more depth and some more direction towards that goal note. Now this is where it changes. When you hit that D, you can hear the ending coming around. So these last 8 bars are setting up the ending. Now, if you have overtones on your C, this is a great place to do it. Great place for overtones. Now, before that, we have that high C going into the high B flat. We're really not going to mess around with that too much because that's really setting things up. So we're going to change the rhythm so that we have a little bit more motion in it. So we're going to put it on the and instead of putting it as two half notes. But we don't really need to add a bunch of repeated notes or added notes to that. Now, we land on those C's. Again, that's a great place for overtones. Then the E. I go E, F, E, D. This is the neighbor tone. Neighbor tone meaning you're on the note, you go up, and then back to the note. So, the last 8. So I'm going E, F, E, D sharp, D, chromatic down. So I'm doing a neighbor tone, E to F, back to E, and then chromatic, D sharp to D. For the ending, we just have that ascending B flat major triad. So I just put a little rhythm on it and repeat some notes. Now, the real book version has you going up to the high F, but I always go an octave lower. I just think it sounds way better. And that's where your solo break would start on that F. So you play that F short, not long. And those are some insights on how I would ad-lib on All the Things You Are. Here is a version from the top to the bottom. 1, 2, 2, Thanks for taking the time to check this video out. If you found it helpful in ad-libbing on All the Things You Are, I'd really appreciate it if you'd give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. Thanks a lot.